First of all, I should declare that I was a member of the Open Data Task Force that worked towards the launch of the Open Data platform. So you'll forgive me if I speak a bit protectively about our baby. But let's take a step back. I think it'll be important if I take a step back and we start discussing why government data should even be important for technologists. There's an assumption that techies should be interested in government data, and many of them don't understand why. And I think there are four main reasons why technologists, and indeed all of us, should be interested in government data. The first of all, it's the official data. It's the data the government uses to make decisions. If you approach the government with other data, they say, well, our information is different from your information, therefore we're going to keep doing things our way. So it's official data. Second thing, it's comprehensive. When a government does a census, it has to count everybody in the country. It doesn't choose focus groups, it doesn't choose small groups of people, it has to count everyone, so it's comprehensive. Thirdly, it's largely verified. It's been cleaned, it's gone through a process. That's one of the reasons it takes so long for it to come out. So again, that's another reason why it's important. And fourthly, and more importantly, it's expensive. It's expensive, and you paid for it. As a taxpayer, you paid for this data. It's your data, it belongs to you. So, you will hear a lot of things about having to pay for government data. As Ushahidi, perhaps one of the more unconventional organizations here, we believe that government data is our data, it belongs to us. And if something that is so expensive that you paid a lot of money and belongs to you, then you start to get interested in it, what do you need to do with it? So one key problem is that we keep using the words data and knowledge interchangeably. We talk about data as knowledge and knowledge as data, when we know for sure data is not knowledge, and perhaps data is not even information. Knowledge is what you know, the result of information, education, culture, religion, etc. And the role of this whole ecosystem, this whole open data ecosystem, is to get the data to the point where it informs knowledge. Get data to the point where it informs knowledge. So where the data is accessed, in my opinion, is largely irrelevant, so long as the data is good. One of the statistics we saw today was that only 10% of people have heard of the term open data, and only 7% have heard of the Kenya Open Data Platform. Why is that relevant? If the Daily Nation is publishing that same data, if the chief or the church is giving that same data, why does it matter that a person has never heard the phrase open data, or they've never heard of the open data platform? In fact, it's probably an indication that the open data platform has done its job if this data is available in so many places that you don't have to go to opendata.go.ke to access that information. An example around that is that we've been trying to build that platform for a long time. That teacher-pupil ratio, the exam ratio. If a parent is choosing a high school for their kid and they're looking on the various education apps that we have in Kenya now on the teacher-pupil ratio, on the exam results, it doesn't matter that they don't have to go to opendata.go.ke to see that. So at Shahidi, we have a famous saying that we keep repeating: the technology is only 10% of the story. In any intervention like this, technology is only 10% of the story. It's never the main thing, it's never even most of the thing. So, Kenya Open Data is more than just opendata.go.ke. So the main role then of technology, the main role of all of us here, is to take this data and make it, first of all, accessible, and secondly, digestible. So accessible means that it's available on our platforms. If most of our citizens access technology through mobile phones, then let's get that data on mobile phone format. By making it digestible, that's the role now for the rest of you, the researchers, etc., to tell us the stories behind this data. For example, a few years ago, a cabinet minister said, Kenya suffers from overpopulation, therefore we should sterilize women to reduce the birth rate. You're like, okay. But when you look at the data, it tells you that the more education a woman has, the fewer children that she has. So if you do believe Kenya is overpopulated, if you do believe that we have to lower the birth rate, is the better intervention to sterilize women, or is the better intervention to educate more women? You see? So technologists we can put the statistics out there on part of population, etc., but we need the researchers, the media, everyone else to help us pull the stories out of that data. So now looking towards the future, the most important thing is to break out of our silos, both within and outside government. In government, the ICT ministry, and in particular the ICT authority, have been champions of open data. They've really driven it forward, and we owe them a great debt for the amount of work that they've done. The fact that we're having this conversation here, and we're not talking about, maybe we should have an open data platform, is a testament to their strength. But now we need to get more ministries involved, especially devolution and planning and education, etc., to break that silos. Outside government, tech institutions, researchers, civil society organizations, we need to start cooperating more in telling the stories that this data tells us about. For example, this is my last point. We have data on infrastructure, on roads in Kenya. We have data on rainfall in Kenya. We have data on exam results in Kenya. Can we tell a story here? Does rainfall affect exam results? Does rainfall affect exam results in places that have better infrastructure, better that have lower infrastructure? If we look at this data, should we start to restructure the time we have exams? Will pupils have higher exam results if we don't have exams during times of rain? These are the type of stories that technologists can't tell on their own. If we cooperate together in this room, these are some of the things that we can surface. Thank you.
Excellent.